Hey everyone, Christian here, and here's another palm review. And this is going to be on Dypsis madagascariensis, also often known as Dypsis leucobensis. They're basically synonymous. I have to double check the Q monocot checklist, but they're often known as one and the same. So this is actually going to be a relative of the teddy bear, the triangle, and a few other, well, all other Dypsis, because it is a Dypsis. But its name comes from Dypsis madagascariensis, which means of Madagascar. So this is one of the first Dypsis to kind of be discovered and named, hence the name Madagascariensis, because there are 200 species plus of Dypsis. So usually they kind of name it after the area when they first find, a new species. So you can see it has a very tristichous look about it. It looks a lot like a triangle. It has one, two, and then one in the back here. Uh, growing angles, and it's actually in flower now. So we'll see if that actually sets seed. The seeds are actually quite small, so they don't take too long to develop. And you can see here at the base, and this happens with almost all crown shafted Dypsis, this yellowish orange color at the base of the crown shaft. And a lot of Dypsis are kind of named orange something because of their base. There's orange crush, and there's some I forget the others off the top of my head, but you can see it kind of looks like, I hate to kind of give it this name, but if you look at the way the leaflets are, they're plumose and they're cupped at the end here, and they're kind of thin. It looks like a Malagasy version of a queen palm with a crown shaft, which means it's easier to clean off, so the old fronds kind of just drop to the ground. Has the same kind of trunk size. It is a little bit more rewarding that it kind of has a symmetry about it that is quite nice, and it has this nice fine spear coming up, and this one's probably about 20 feet tall overall. It was donated by a local nursery, which gave it the common name, the white foxtail palm, which I've never heard that common name before in my life until now. So that must have just been kind of like their way of naming it when selling it. So it isn't a very commonly found palm in Florida. It is around, but you won't see it in many landscapes. It is more of a collector type of palm. And but it's not hard to grow. It's just been sitting here. It's actually been doing great. I don't know if this gets. I believe these get irrigation. I don't know about fertilizer, but it's a nice beefy plant. It's definitely a good size for. I've seen some pretty ratty specimens of these. This one's actually really nice. And yeah, you can see there's a little bit of arching in the leaflet, and it doesn't go completely plumose. The back of the rachis, which means the part where the leaflets come out, don't seem to have any fronds coming out, which is where a queen would have them kind of coming from all directions, be fully plumose like a foxtail. So then as far as cold hardiness on these palms go, it's definitely going to be somewhat cold hardy, probably about that of a teddy bear in the upper zone 9 area. Probably can take about 27 Fahrenheit or -3 Celsius for short periods of time. I wouldn't let it sit there forever, but yeah, it definitely can can handle a little bit. You can even see some red fuzz there showing very typical of other Dypsis, such as a teddy bear, Dypsis leptohelios. And sorry about the shaking, guys. I don't have my tripod with me, so I'm just holding this with my hand. But these, I always thought these were funny because they put out these enormous flower bracts comparative to the size of the crown, where a lot of other palms just will be like a 1/4 that size. So but it is, there are some parts of this palm that make it much more appealing than a queen. First of all, it's a self-cleaning trunk, or it's crown shafted, meaning it's self-cleaning. And the leaves, the fronds just drop to the ground. You can pick them up. You don't have to trim them unless you want to. And it doesn't seem to be as nutrient deficient as some other palms, such as the queen. It doesn't seem to be potassium or magnesium, hungry. So this one, like I said, is a pretty good looker here. I'm going to kind of back up and give you guys a full look at the crown here. Again, the tripod kind of helps out a lot when I want to get a better view. So it does have a little bit of white color, like what you would see on Cabata or Lutescens, but obviously has a big solitary crown. These come in many varieties. There's Dypsis madagascariensis variation Mahajanga. There's Madagascariensis variation leucobensis, which is really the solitary version of this, which they're kind of synonymous to this palm. And there's a couple others too. There's also some other palms which are closely related, like Dypsis plumosa. It looks very identical. It's like a smaller version of this. But the seeds on these are going to be kind of like an ovoid pea, and they give them a well draining soil, a lot of heat. These kind of grow in some savannas, very similar to Florida's climate, so they do pretty decent here. And yeah, the fresh seed should germinate pretty fast. So anyway, that's going to be about it for this palm. It's growing here in downtown Fort Myers, and I guess maybe I'll come back and see if there's any seed, maybe in a couple months' time. So, but yeah, like I said, it likes full sun as well. It will grow in the shade just fine if you want to give it some protection from the cold, but it does seem to thrive here in full sun. I know, because my head's getting burned off. And so that's about it for Dypsis madagascariensis. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to see many more palm reviews. If you have any questions about the Dypsis madagascariensis complex, leave it down below, and I will see everybody next time. Thanks for watching.